We were given a barn find 1983 Suzuki Katana 750 that hadn't been started in 31 years and challenged to get it going and get it back on the road.
So do I get my kit off?
So what would you like to see with the Katana then?
I'd like to see it back on the road.
So we got all the parts back to our workshop in Sheffield and set about putting it back together. We got it going, we got a donor bike for all the missing parts, and finally got it looking something like a bike. So I thought I'd give you a bit of an update on the Katana. We've run into a bit of a brick wall with it. Now, I was hoping that this video was going to get more views than it's actually got. YouTube doesn't pay a lot. So with the amount of views that this video has got, I was hoping that it would fund the actual project, and everything that we took from AdSense revenue, which is the way YouTube pays, could have paid for parts on this bike. But I mean, at the moment, it wouldn't even pay for a chain on the bike. It wouldn't pay for anything, in fact. There's nothing that I could buy with the AdSense revenue that would be useful to this bike. Now, we need a few things for it. And we can't really MOT the bike without them. We need a pair of tyres. We need a pair of fork stanchions, because these just aren't going to cut it. As much as I have run them down with the oil stone, tried to smooth them out the best I can, they're just not going to seal. So nobody's going to put an MOT on this bike with leaky fork seals. Other than that, it needs a new chain. There's no point in replacing the chain without putting new sprockets on it. So again, that's going to be another £100 at least. We can buy the small parts. I've had to buy some pod air filters for it, because for some reason you cannot fit the air filter box without removing the engine. So I had a long think about it, and in the minute it took me to think about it, I decided I was going to buy some pod air filters for £10 from Amazon. It's going to need a battery. We're also going to need parts, I think, for the headlight module, which stops it from doing that open-close thing and just rolling around and round. It's going to need quite a lot of money spending on it, probably £500–600. Now, like I said, I'm not a rich man. We can't afford money like that at this project, at this stage. Maybe in future. I'm trying to run a business as well and keep vans on the road, etc. There's other things that we're going to run into as we continue with this project that's going to cost more money. On this channel, we like to keep things below budget. We like to do things as cheaply as possible. That's kind of the whole hook to it. If we can start it, we can get it going as cheaply as possible. That's what we want to do. So we're appealing to people. If anybody knows where we can get some fork stanchions from that aren't pitted like that we can actually use as serviceable items, please get in touch with us if you can sort us out a deal. Or if you're a company that's got some in stock, can you sort us a deal out and we'll mention you over the internet? There's enough people who are focused now that like old classic bikes where you can get your name out if we mention it. There are a few other ways where you can support the channel, and one of them, it doesn't cost you a thing. If you just go through all the Katana videos, in fact all of our videos, and just put a like and a comment on all of our videos, that will really help us, because what that does, that gets us forced out to other people who like the same kind of content that you do. So that's really important to us. Likes and comments. I know all YouTubers say we need likes and comments, but that's why. It increases who we're pushed out to. And if they don't see our thumbnail, they're never going to click it. So that's how you can help us. Or you can help us directly by buying us a coffee. We've got a link to that in the description. But for now, we're just going to tart it up a little bit. We're going to paint a few parts that are a bit rusty and just whet your appetite for what's going to be coming in future once we can sort out the problems with these parts. So in the meantime, the jobs that we can be getting along with are fitting the brakes, bleeding them through, and basically just tidying up the rust on the frame. So yeah, that's the pitting on the fork stanchions. There is literally no rescuing those. They are really bad. They'll just tear up any fork seal that we put in there. Tyres, they speak for themselves. They're really old. In the centre, there's not a legal tread limit, and they're all cracked on sides. They're so old, it's just dangerous to even think about riding them or riding on them. But no MOT centre is going to put those through anyway. Rear tyre, again, it's got plenty of tread on it, but it's so old. That tyre is literally from the early 90s. It's just no good. The battery that we've got is off of a Varadero, so it's just not enough. There's not enough cranking power. for a 750 engine. We've already ordered some air filters, which are the pod type that we've ordered, and a tank. Could do with a dose of repairing. We'll probably just do that and rattle can it, just to make it look something like, so it's not red. So let's crack on and get some brakes fitted. Polish of these little springs. Anti-squeal, anti-rattle, whatever you like to call them. No, I'm not sure which way. I'm assuming that means forward. So, like that. Copper slip isn't grease, people. Everybody thinks it's grease. People call it grease, copper grease. It's not grease. It's anti-seize compound. It's just to stop things from seizing together. I believe that's forward. Anti-squeal. These pads are almost like new, so I'm reusing them. However old they are, I don't care. These lines, they go over into this crossover box here. So that's taking one line, separating it into two to feed two different calipers. So they just need a couple of banjos fitting back in. We'll get some new washers on there. Does anyone know if it's true the Japanese are superstitious against the number 13? Because I was told this years ago by someone who said that that's why there's always 12 mils and not 13s on Japanese bikes. Leave us a comment. Other lines, although they're really old, they look in really nice condition. Nothing's really badly corroded. There's no splits in lines anywhere. I'd love to put some braided lines on them. Super great. Alright, now we just got to get it bled. And hopefully we'll get a decent lever on it. We need to get some fluid. We need to do the furthest one away from master cylinder, which is this side. So we'll do this side first, then do that side. So you can get a nice lever on it. But normally I like to gravity bleed these, which means start at the bottom and go back up. Two ways of doing that. You can either raise the calipers up, means you've got to hold the pistons apart while you're bleeding them, or just use a syringe. That's what I normally do. Fill the syringe up with brake fluid, back feed it all the way up the lines. Now the trouble is with this, because we've got this T-piece, I think we're going to lose a little bit of fluid down there, so we're going to have to bleed twice, I think. But it's a lot easier to back bleed things when gravity's your friend. Right, so change of plan. What's happened is my the syringe that I use to back bleed things, it's been left with brake fluid in it. So it's gone all funny inside, the rubber's just totally perished and fallen to pieces. So I've not actually done this before, but I've got a pressure bleeder here. And what you do is you put that valve, well, you put this onto the valve, it pressurizes this bottle and forces fluid up through the system. Now normally you've got a little cap that fits on there that you screw onto the top of your reservoir and it forces the fluid down. I'm just going to try it a different way. I'm going to put this onto the actual nipple, I said nipple, and release it and see if I can push it up to the top. So I've got nothing to lose, just maybe my eyesight if it blasts off and gets me in eyes. Right, tyre's a bit flat, so blow that bad boy up. I'm not even sure if this tyre holds air. It might not do. Right, then we've got cheap and cheerful brake fluid. Obviously this is not a final bleed. Please come off. Yep. Japanese industry standard fasteners. Dog crap bit of kit. Ugh. That's nasty in there. Actually, I've seen worse, but that is nasty. You can see what's happened to the rubber on my old syringe. That's what I used to use for back bleeding. But we could use this just to empty this master cylinder out. I thought I'd already emptied this. For everybody who's shouting at the screen now. So make sure that's slacking off. That should fit on easy now. Yep. Right, so hopefully now this'll... Whoa, there's a lot of pressure there. Let's open that up. Right. That's not quite letting it through just yet. Let's let that pressure wick away. Now that's going through, I can hear it. So I need to just pop round this side for a sec and just make sure it's coming up to the top. You can hear the air rushing out of this now. Whoa! Big fountain out at the top. So, just nip that back up. So this section of it should be bled through now. There shouldn't be any bubbles in it whatsoever. So let's disconnect that, give it a little wipe. And make sure we don't get any fluid on pads, because that'd be bad. And move everything right on the side. Right. Let's get that piped on there. Undo the knipple. I can see I'm going to force a few bubbles up there. I don't want too much pressure in this, if I'm honest. And here it goes. I don't think that is undone. There seems to be a bit of pressure. Again. Yeah, it's not travelling, it's just compressing that air. It's not moving up the caliper, up to the caliper and up line. So undo it a bit more. There might be a blockage in the actual caliper. Yeah, I think there is. Because no matter how much I release this now, it's not undoing. No. It's about 3 full turns on nipple to... No, definitely got a blockage there because it's not going any further than that. So yeah, let's have the nipple out. I might have to remove caliper again. Yep, that's blocked. Ugh, tastes like shit. So let's try and put a little piece of wire through there. Shove a little piece of wire through the top, just out of wire brush. There you go, I felt that burst through. So that should be clear now. Oh yeah, a bit of crap came out of that. But that should be all good now. Let's give it a little wipe down, a little clean. All right. More attempt. It's what I love about old bikes. It's always a little surprise for you. So that should push up through now. Oh yeah, we can hear it releasing at top. Straight away. Hey, there you go. Fountain of youth. Alright, if I just put that back on, stop it from blasting everywhere, and then it should fill the reservoir and also push a lot of crap out. As soon as we get a bit in reservoir, it shouldn't shoot out like that. Oh, we're filling. Yeah, nothing in tyre. Let's just put 20 in it this time. Oh, shooting it out. There's no bubbles. Oh, there is now. Beautiful. So I think if I do this side again, we should be laughing. Oh, I can hear pistons moving. That should pump up now. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Yeah, levels a bit more, so. Right, we're going to make the piston travel out now to the disc. So a little bit of pumping. Not finding a bit of pumping on a Friday night. I can feel them coming out now. In fact, I can feel a lever. Any leaks anywhere? Yeah, we've got a bit of lever now, but we have got some air in. No, lever's coming right out. It's not quite at the bar now, look. The more we pump that, the more it'll come out. Alright. Ha! We've actually got a lever. Excellent. We just need to just fit the line. I think the line, it's got little elbows on it. I don't think it matters because one goes one way and one goes the other way. Just wants to lift up like that, that's it. That's first washer, second washer. Alright, so over at the bench now, and I'm just going to clean up the rear brake master cylinder. Because I think I mean, it looks alright, it's been sat for a while, so it's got like some strange kind of gelatine inside it. You can see there. Just grab my lamp, you'll be able to see it better. So that needs cleaning out. With the clutch master cylinder, it's a different story. And it's the same on the donor bike that we've got. The master cylinder is absolutely locked up solid. Now I've had it bathed in WD-40 for probably, well, it's been a week at least. And it's still not moving. I can't get it to move. I can't get any pliers in there to actually pull the plunger out of it. So I don't know what we're going to do with that. These are really, really expensive if you can find one, and I can't find one. Can't find one at Fowler's. Can't find one at Robinson's Foundry. Can't find one on eBay. I don't know if any others will fit, if they're the same part number for any others, and I can't figure it out. I've put the word out on a couple of Katana forums. So far nobody's got back to me. Just give it a quick try while I've got the compressor on. Yeah. All I can do is try and blast it out. Ugh. That WD-40 tastes lovely. No. Now that would have shot out there like a missile. That's about 110 psi. I'm going to try and tap the piston. I'm not sure what is on this side, whether it closes right up before it gets to the piston. But I'm going to try and knock it anyway because I can't really damage it. It's knackered anyway. I can't get it out. So let's just see if it'll... I'm thinking there'll be a spring on bottom of this. And that has moved. I can get it out and clean it up. I can replace the actual piston. There's a kit for those. It's covered in shit. Hopefully now this will drop out. I can feel the spring on that. And it is moving. There'll be people who know what I'm doing now and possibly screaming. No! Oh, it's coming out. Yeah, it's coming out. And I can see the spring. You'll never be able to see that, but I don't know if you can see it. No. Gotta be careful not to catch any of these threads, otherwise it is knackered. Now, can I grab that? Like I said, this has been soaking for a few days. Oh, it's moving. So I can't see anything inside. I don't even know if that's showing up. But it looks rough in there. Right, let's give it a little tap out. That's the washer. And that's the actual plunger. Or piston. Oh my goodness. The plunger and the seal don't look too bad, even though it was seized completely. Oh dear. So, if we can clean this out, it does look rough in there, but we can buy pieces for this to clean it up. So that's the assembly in one. We can buy that. They're about 35 quid. Another job down. Let's just give this a little clean up. Well, that's surprisingly immaculate in there. I've got to make a little bit of an announcement, and that announcement is it's sad news. This bike that we've been donated, it was donated by a guy called Rory, and that's me not butchering his name for the first time. His name is pronounced Rory. Now, Rory donated the bike to us on the condition that we got it back on the road. And that is fully what I intend to do. I am going to get this bike back on the road. It is going to be MOT'd, and I am going to have some fun on this bike. But the plan's changed. The plan was find a sidecar, and I was going to attach a sidecar, and I was going to ride it to Scotland to take Rory out on a little ride round in the spring or summer this year. That was the plan. That's what I was heading towards. That was the goal. Now, unfortunately, we've had a phone call from Rory's sister, and Rory's become ill, and Rory passed away, sadly. Firstly, I've got to offer all my condolences to his family. His mum has sent me some pictures, which I'll put up now. It's really difficult. Rory gave us the opportunity, and his exact words were, I'd like to see it back on the road. So I feel like I failed you, Rory. I feel like I failed you. I wanted you to see it back on the road. I wanted you to experience it. If anybody has been following the channel and you've been following the comments, you'll see Rory's comments. So there's a few things I'm going to do in Rory's honour. One of them is stop using that damn WD-40. From now on, mate, I'm going to get some plus gas. Rory's username was for and on behalf of. And you'll see his comments in all the previous videos. He always starts them with Baz. Rory was a fantastic guy. He was very funny. He used to ring me quite often to scold me about what I was doing, because apparently he was a perfectionist. And his plan when he stripped this bike down was to put it back together perfect. But he knew he'd watched the channel and he'd enjoyed our channel and seen what we'd done with the old bikes, just getting them reconditioned, just getting them back on the road, just getting them started. So he knew, and we had talked about it in length on what I planned to do with this bike. He'd got a wicked sense of humour. It was very rude, but that's why we got on, I think. And I'm going to miss our phone calls. But now I'm not sure. Now I'm not sure what to do with this bike in honour of Rory, in honour of his memory. In the long run, I would like to get this bike absolutely pristine. And that is something we do. I joke around and we recommission these bikes. And I am a bit of a clown, but I do have my serious side. And the bikes that we've built in the past, we have done them to a really high quality, a high standard. I'd like to do this bike to a high standard. So we are going to finish this bike. I'm going to get it MOT'd. I'm going to ride it. I'm going to have some fun on it in Rory's memory. Once again, I just want to send my condolences to Rory's family. Rest in peace, Rory.